awesome. And they looked away and then kind of did this. Oh my God. I'd love it. Those movies are a ton of fun. I'd love to be in a Minecraft movie. Also, I mean, I've been friends with Jack Black forever, so getting to do a project with him would be an absolute treat. Absolutely, I would do that.
What one was the most fever dream to do?
What was the most fever, not the best,
True.
most fever dream? That's a cool question. Young adult, again, because I'm not only doing scenes with Charlize Theron, I have a love scene with her. So that's a fever dream in itself. Happy, that was a fever dream. Let me amend my response earlier to Felix. That was a fever dream too, because it's the guy who directed the Crank movies and based on Grant Morrison's writing, and I am this animated imaginary friend. God, I wish we got a third season of that. They had a whole third season mapped out. Oh, yeah. It was all going to be Halloween themed, and yeah, I know that is an ongoing tragedy for me. Thank you for liking that. I loved that show. Fever dream. What was the most fever dream? That's a great question.
That was a really good question.
One of my favorite villains, because he's so weird, is this guy named the Tatterdemalion, who is a guy that like destroys rich people's money, and he has this. It's such an odd choice. And also, listen, I'm not putting down the actor who played him, but I would love a shot at a live-action MODOK and do it the way that we did it in the animated show. Like, MODOK is basically Jack Kirby having a headache, and that's what I would play him as. So, also, if they did a biopic, I'd love to play Jack Kirby, but I don't think I have the steel. Like, you need that kind of guy. My favorite one to record was Remy, because in Ratatouille, because I got to go to Pixar. It's called like Mickey's Roadsters or something. It's like a race thing, and I play a guy named Mr. McSnorter, who's a pig, and I got to do these big inhaling snorts, and it really rips my throat to shreds. And in a similar one, Professor Dementor on Kim Possible, when I would do that, we had to do that early in the morning and not book any more voiceover for the rest of the day, because it would just rip my vocal cords out. She's a TV executive who's been in a coma for 3 decades, and she's out of the coma and is pitching these shows, and they're all terrible because she's not current on things. And there's a great moment where she goes, I have an idea for a show where David Copperfield makes the World Trade Center disappear for a special. And then Pinky Penguin says, look, I know you've been in a coma for 30 years, but David Copperfield really doesn't get ratings anymore. Like that's his only concern for the show, is that David Copperfield isn't popular anymore. So that was, when they sent me that script and I read that line, I was like, oh my God, that's one of the funniest things I've ever read. So that was my fave. I would love to do it if they brought Justified back. I really, really loved playing that character. I thought that it was just a really real character. I would also love, this is just me being kind of selfish, but there was a show that I worked on called The United States of Terror. There was a whole third season mapped out on that. Getting to work with Toni Collette, another example of someone that just ups your skill level. And I would have loved to have seen where she went with her character and with that show. So those are two that I would definitely want to return to. That was really weird. I had to do a thing, a lot of the scenes where I'm talking to myself, like you would film one half of the scene wearing an earpiece with your dialogue that you've recorded so you can respond to it, and they have a double there. And then you have to go back and repeat the same movement from the other side of the conversation, and also remember like your reactions to, like if Billy said something stupid and then the other guy's got to go, what? So there's a lot of that, like the technicality of it was amazing to me. And then in the last season we go back to my ancestor, back during the bootlegging times. I have no say in what Marvel does with their films, but I would love for them to incorporate Coulson, the Koenigs, Quake, a lot of those characters back into the movies somehow. That would be really interesting if they did that. So yeah. Suicide Squad, back in the 80s, John Ostrander. There's this very specific panel that kind of scarred me for life and made me want to do the kind of comics I do, where Captain Boomerang is kind of moonlighting as a criminal at night. He'd have to have more than one uniform to be ready, and if there's multiple ones on hangers, it means there is a day where Captain Boomerang probably in his civilian clothes, is at a laundromat making sure these things are washed and going, I gotta separate the darks from the whites, I don't want them to bleed in. The human drudgery to superheroes, I'll never get tired of that. I love that. Ratatouille was a huge highlight of my career. There was a movie that I did called Young Adult with Charlize Theron, and getting to do scenes with her. She's, I think, the best actor alive in terms of being able to go immediately deep into a character and then snap back to herself and then go back. Like, I've never been more on my toes in a scene working with someone of that caliber. It really does, like, it was that thing, like, if you want to get better at your game, you play with people that are way better than you. She made me better at my game. And then there's a TV show called Justified that I was on that is some of the best, some of the best writing. The dialogue and the descriptions were so well done. So those, right now, those are the three that are tied.
Guys, scream again if you're a weirdo. Let's hear you.
The entire room.
I love it. I love being a freak. I don't care anymore. All right, you guys ready? Thanks, Leroy. 3, 2, 1. Get your hands up. Get your hands up.